behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Palm Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. Another great interview is coming up shortly. But before we begin, don't forget about the subscribe and bell buttons below you there. And you'll always be notified of any new episodes coming your way. And leave a comment on the comment section if you like. We'd love to hear from you there. And if you pay attention to the description part as well as the closing credits, we'll have contact info for you. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. From Killeen, Texas, we have Bryan Summers, another great artist. I think you're really going to like this guy. And we'll get to that in a second, but first, here's another quick word from the Killeen Gordon Show. So don't go away. We'll be right back right after this.
It is Caden from the Killeen Gordon Show. Today's best country mix. Check out my show at thekillengordonshow.com.
Okay, we're back. And with us from Killeen, Texas, we have Bryan Summers with us today. Thanks for joining us, Bryan.
Hey, howdy. Good to see you.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to you can make it today. Well, why don't you tell everybody a little story about how you started in the music business? You know, because everyone starts at an early age, but sometimes they decide they want to do it at a much later time in their life. And
yeah,
I'm sure you got a great story. Go ahead and share it with us.
Well, you know, for me, my family is a musical family. I think I believe the story is I had an uncle or something used to play with Merle on the road on the keys, and then my dad is a good singer, my sister's a good singer, and I was always the number 3 in the pickup line. So music in my earlier years was never much of my goal, but as I got older, you know, I picked up the guitar and started learning, and then started writing, and really just kind of fell in love with it. And you know, now I've done a lot of different shows, got a full 5-piece band. Putting out new music about every couple months right now, and yeah, so it just I got really into it during COVID when we were locked down, and then it kind of just blossomed from there. And every day's a journey. You never know. You always learn something new every day. Anybody that thinks they know it all, I think, is naive. But yeah, that's basically it. So now I'm just kind of in the writing portion and performing those songs, and hopefully something strikes a chord with some people, and see where it goes.
Okay, well, that's quite a story there. And a lot of people start when they're just real little like that, and some even start when they have a musical family. So I can see why you decided to go that route.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us, everybody, about your influences or the artists that you grew up with that you enjoyed?
So, I was always my dad's co-pilot on drives, and he always listened to old school country music, Conway, Merle, Hank Williams, all the greats, Johnny Cash. And so I was kind of, raised around all that music. So I definitely have an appreciation for it. And I felt, in my own stuff, that a lot of country music these days is more pop or pop country, and that's really not my bag. So I'm trying to give more of that authentic country sound to what I'm pushing out, and see if I can get it to resonate with anybody. But really, it's just telling a story and kind of bringing that good old pedal steel, some good keys on it, pedal, and not focus so much on the bass of a song. And so those are kind of my older influences. My newer influences, I'm a huge fan of Red Clay Strays. I think they're phenomenal, what they're doing. Also was recently introduced to a bluegrass band out of Alabama called Mountain Grass Unit, which is phenomenal. If you haven't heard of them, they're great. Also, more a little mainstream for my taste, but Zach Top's kicking butt and taking names, with that authentic country music. And everybody kind of has a little bit that they're bringing to the table, but I'd say as of right now, those are probably the key ones. But I listen to old stuff more than I listen to new stuff.
Yeah, so many people do. It's just not the same anymore. A lot of people say so.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some good ones. You mentioned Conway and Johnny Cash and all them.
Love me some Johnny
real
Cash.
legends.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. It's it's a whole nother time, and you see all these biographies and everything and how they live their life and kind of everything. You just kind of want to be wrapped up into that. Maybe not the tragic parts, but definitely the ride for sure.
Well, I'm sure we can find you on streaming media and social media and official website, maybe. If you do,
Yeah.
tell us where we can find you.
BryanSummers.com is the official website, and that's Bryan with a Y, Summers with a U. And all my stuff is on that website, merchandise, music, everything. Also on all streaming platforms, Spotify, YouTube, Apple, you name it. Yeah, that's I think also my website there's a link tree, and then you can see all there's a whole bunch of links there as well. But yeah, BryanSummers.com, easy to remember. That's where you're gonna see most of the latest news, and yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, check him out on all those platforms he just mentioned. I know he'd really love you for that, and
I would
you'll
very
get
much.
more about him too. And I guess, yeah, exactly. I guess the name of the song that we're about to watch is called Bar Decisions. I'm sure it's self-explanatory, but why don't you tell us a little story about this song?
Yeah, so this was a fun song that I wrote with a buddy of mine, and it was just I had this line in my head, bar decisions, as a play on bad decisions, and I was like, how many times have people been in a bar and had too many to drink, and then start making bad decisions or bar decisions, as I call them. And I just thought it'd be a fun song to do, and I think a lot of people could relate to it. So yeah, that was kind of the whole making of that. It started off with just that idea of bar decisions, and then kind of wrote a whole little story along with it. And then this was the first music video me and my team has ever shot, and I think it came out pretty great, and definitely got the point across of those bar decisions.
Okay. Well, it's a great song, and you guys are really going to love it as usual, and we'll get to it in just a second. But before we do, just want to thank you, Bryan, for coming on the show today. We'd love to have you back again sometime if you got anything new to plug for us.
Oh yeah, definitely would be happy to come back.
Okay. Well, without further ado, here's Bryan Summers with Bar Decisions. It begins right now.
Stopped into a bar one day, thinking my liver's got a tab to pay for the wrongs my old lady's been doing me this week. Well, man behind the bar told me to see my old lady with some guy named Steve. So I started looking around for a lady who make me weak in the knees. But right as I was looking around, I see this lady looking me up and down. Didn't bother me, she was missing a few front teeth. Well, she smelled like Marlboro cigarettes, and I just couldn't figure when to quit. So I just kept on smiling my way through. Well, she bought one shot and that turned to two. I was in trouble before I knew. She was pulling me by the buckle to a back room, making decisions. They're not the best ones I can make. I'm making more decisions. The sober me would call them mistakes. Well, I sauntered out of that back room, decided I needed a meal and a brew. So I asked the bartender what they were serving tonight. Well, my stomach's howling like a wolf to the moon. I'll need some grub and a beer real soon, when the bartender put some pickled hooves in my sights. Well, I ate myself about 2 or 3. Right about then, my face turned green. I was making a dash to the bathroom stalls. Well, all the stalls were working fine, but I couldn't wait in that long piss line, so I made that trash can my new best friend. Well, people came running out, holding their mouth. I think that's where my night turned south. I bet sober me wishes that's where the night would end. Making more ones I can make. I'm making more decisions. Sober me would call them mistakes. Yeah, sober me and drunk me don't always agree. But when it comes to booze, sober always lose. Just have to hang on for the ride. We're making more decisions, not the best ones we can make. We're making more decisions. Sober us wouldn't call them mistakes. We're making more decisions. They're not the best ones we can make. We're making more decisions. Sober us wouldn't call them mistakes. Yeah, sober us wouldn't call them mistakes.